Hey, Oki, it's Avi. Good talking to you earlier. I just wanted to send you a couple thoughts. I'm just going to take this video so you can see what I'm doing online here. But like we were talking about earlier, there's about, looks like 86,000 people in Germantown. And I looked at some of the other suburbs and like Bethesda and Silver Spring and Rockville, and it looks like all those are like 60,000, 70,000 people. So Germantown, especially if you're living there, is probably the best city to start with. I looked at Columbia. Columbia looks like it's about 90 something thousand, almost 100,000 people. So I don't know if that's too far away or not, but anyway, Germantown's big enough, so I'll show you a couple examples of some ideas here. So one thing I had mentioned to you was this tool called the Keyword Planner. It's a tool that's part of Google AdWords, which is Google's advertising tool. So you can actually select your location in the keyword planner. So I picked Germantown here, and then it'll show you the average monthly searches for the last 12 months for a particular keyword. So I was playing around with this a little bit. For baseball lessons, I'll hit enter here, and it's sorting by average monthly searches, so the most frequent search results here. So the word baseball is about 180 searches per month. This keyword group, you can see baseball lessons as a part of it. There's about 150 keywords per month there. That's probably a good one to start with. We can just use baseball lessons as an example. That's probably the best, most generic one, especially if you're going to do pitching, and then you might have a buddy or two do hitting lessons. So let me use baseball lessons. So let's go to Google here and just check out what the competition currently looks like. Germantown baseball lessons, enter. Okay, so I actually looked at this site before. The top ranking Google site is, I think it's actually a Pennsylvania, Germantown Academy. I don't know why that's showing up, but yeah, Fort Washington, Pennsylvania, so we can ignore that one. That's actually good news. That means if you create a site, you have more likelihood to be uh, top ranked because you're actually going to be Germantown, Maryland. So especially if people are looking in Maryland, they would find you faster. So let me look down here. The number 2 listing, by the way, is Badger Baseball Academy. And this is also good news. This is a parked domain, meaning somebody bought the domain name, but they don't actually have a site up. That's good. Again, means if you had a site, you would probably get ranked easier. So let me look down here. I'll skip down to something called local listings. So you can see these 7 results here, A through F. These are all semi-local businesses. So none of them are actually in Germantown. There's one in Rockville, Gaithersburg, Sterling, Herndon, Sterling, and Olney. So what this means is when somebody is searching for a particular city, uh, somebody who has a local listing, and this is a listing on Google, they will show up in the listing results here. So again, more good news. There's nobody who has a local listing for baseball lessons in Germantown. So if you did that, I'm sure within a few weeks, I would say you could be ranked within the listing page here, and eventually be number 1. So let me skip forward. Actually, let me take a look at this one just to see their content. I'll show you. Okay. All right. Looks like they've got some decent writing on here. They've got a few videos. So this is actually a better site than I've seen from some of the other baseball lesson sites out there. We look at private lessons. Okay, lessons are taught by our experienced professional coaching staff, blah, blah, blah. Okay. What we'll eventually do is when you get a site up, we'll want to look at what the competitors are writing about on their sites, and you would just want to make your content a little bit better and longer and just more unique and more compelling than them. So, okay, that's enough for that one. Well, I want to show you this quick tool here. There's a tool called WhiteSpark, which will show you how to compare how your site compares to other sites in your location, depending on what keyword you want to search for. So it's called the Local Citation Finder, and this is getting probably a little too technical, but I'll just show it to you real quickly. So I have a login. I have a free account here, and if you go to search for your location, So I'll, again, type in Germantown, and then let's type in baseball lessons. And I want to search Germantown baseball lessons. We want to see what the competition looks like. And it's going to show us, actually I already pulled up a report, so I'll put it up here. This is going to show us, based on Germantown baseball lessons, what sites are going to be ranked with how many citations or directories on the web. So this is actually really good. Again, so Germantown Recreational Park. I don't know why that's showing up. Pump track and jump lines, Lay Hill Park, Chevy Chase Local Park. So I guess this is maybe where people actually give lessons. But anyway, these sites are all being ranked. So if you had your own unique baseball lessons site in Germantown, I think that would quickly stand out as being the most authoritative. So that's good stuff. Okay, I'm going to show you one other page that it's got a lot of writing on it, so I'll be forewarned, but it's some thoughts that I'm going to share during the webinar. And I'll just go through it quickly, but there's basically 6 steps. So there's 6 steps to kind of building a website that can generate sales leads, for especially for a local service like baseball coaching or pitching lessons or whatever. So one, you want to select your target audience, and I won't go through all the sub-bullets. Based on that target audience, you want to develop some high-level messaging that's going to resonate with them. So like what kinds of problems you can solve for them, and it's easy for pitching, but you just have to think about what kind of value you're going to create for somebody who's looking for pitching lessons for their kid or whatever. Then you can build a niche website or use the one you already have if you have one. So for you build your own website, and then you want to write authoritative content. We talked about this earlier. That speaks directly to the needs of your niche market. And then you want to dominate your local listings, which shouldn't be a problem at all for Germantown because it looks like you have barely any competition. And then the last piece is what I like to call rank and bank. So you want to rank really high in Google and Yahoo and Bing and other search engines, and cash in your checks because you'll be getting more customers. So anyway, those are a few ideas. It might change a little bit between now and the webinar, but I wanted to show you that as a quick preview. And then the other thing to think about is there's really 2 things that Google will look for when they're ranking a website. One is what's on your website, which is kind of all about the content and everything that we're talking about here with keywords. And the second thing is what's off your website, meaning what is the rest of the internet saying about your site. So this might not apply to you just because it doesn't look like it's a very competitive market. But you, if you're not ranked high after you do really good content, make your site as good as it can be, there's a whole bunch of stuff that can be done to basically optimize your site. That's all that search engine optimization stuff we were talking about. So we don't have to get into that now. It's and you might not even need it because Germantown looks like you can probably dominate. So anyway, hopefully this helps. Let's talk when you're ready, and I can show you how to do the site and everything. And again, I'm not going to charge you or anything. I'll just do whatever the cost is and help you out with it. So anyway, give me a ring and talk to you soon.